Just a few words about the sort of themes, although Ken has summed it up very, very succinctly. I think that when one does an acknowledgement of traditional custodians, it actually resonates at a meeting like this about the impacts of CSG mining. Because in acknowledging traditional custodians, we're recognising and embracing their respect for the land that is inherently based on sustainability of the resources that supported their continuing existence on that land. This broad community campaign is all about our current custodianship of land, of fundamental resources such as water and food production. It's about sustainable communities, and it's about the sustainability of our quality of life. What you will hear tonight from our guests are the heartfelt thoughts, concerns and fears of a cross-section of Australians for their ongoing health, for their quality of life, for their water, for their food production, for their future and their children's futures. The results of a recent Nielsen poll recorded that 75% of respondents were opposed to CSG mining on agricultural land. But most importantly, those were spread equally across political affiliations, gender, age and the city-country divide. If you look at the numbers, they're all pretty well the same number all the way across that survey. We noted in our original flyer for this meeting that Wollongong City Council, 40 Sydney councils, our Kiama Council and all South Coast councils have declared no to CSG mining on our prime agricultural lands, no to CSG mining in important water catchments, and no to mining in above or important aquifers. And as recently as this morning on ABC News, at various times was mentioned that Wollongong Council and Wingecarribee Council had expressed further concern about CSG mining, potentially CSG mining in their areas. So the broad community, and I'm sure this meeting, does not want to actually hear tonight a lot of political point scoring on this issue, but it does, thank you, it's actually not up to me from now on, I suppose, but I will not undertake any political point scoring. But this community does want genuine debate on whether the existing legislation truly protects communities and natural assets. There's a role for direct action, you see Shut the Gate Alliance and so on, and there's also a place for a serious challenge to existing state and federal legislation. And this is an issue which raises real passions, because people's lives are really at stake. People's water, people's food. And I don't think there's much that we can get more passionate about than that. And we are, I'm sure, going to be in for a little bit of passionate debate tonight, but I don't believe that this issue can be discussed without that sort of genuine passion. The CSG mining across the country has highlighted the uncertainty over what happens on our land. We're confronted by the fact that large mining companies with a focus on short-term profit can ravage an area and then move on. But just to finish, we're also further confronted by increasing evidence that science is not supporting this industry. That it is not the climate change saviour that it was touted to be. That there are serious shortcuts in environmental assessment, see the Four Corners the other night, and that governments we elect may not be genuinely acting in our interests, again, see Four Corners. And everybody will have an agenda with some web links at the bottom, and one of those links is to the Four Corners program, gas leaks. If you didn't get to see it, you should. So, enough for an introduction. I think I've covered the sort of issues that are likely to crop up tonight, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Jess Moore from Stop CSG Illawarra, a long-term campaigner, a great speaker, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from Jess tonight. Thank you.